Welcome to another episode of Time, Talent, Treasure Radio from Taatjes Financial Group. Taatjes Financial is a company that specializes in helping retirees and pre-retirees build purposeful retirement plans. Custom plans that not only help clients steward their treasure, but their time and talent as well. They believe that if you're taken care of financially, you go even further to make the family, community, and kingdom impact you truly desire to make, which is the ultimate purpose of wealth. If you'd like to set up a no-cost, no-obligation meeting with one of their financial advisors, give them a call at 222-4236. You can request a meeting at taatjesfinancial.com or simply stop by their office on 19th Avenue Southwest in Wilmer.
Hey, this is Ben Taatjes. Welcome to another episode of Time, Talent, Treasure Radio. And if you've been listening to the last few shows, I've been interviewing our financial advisors that work so hard with our clients on our team. And today I'm joined by another one of our advisors, of course. Claire Molden's with us.
Hey, Ben.
Hey, good to have you on the show. And we also have a special guest for the second week in a row, Brenin Molden. Brenin, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Ben.
If you didn't hear last week's show, you'll notice that they both share the same last name. This is the dynamic duo of husband and wife, financial advisor, and CPA. And we've been talking about kind of some of the cool cases that they've worked on together. Because again, we work a lot with CPAs in our area. And this one happens to be husband-wife duo. And I love hearing those stories. Last week we talked about, I think Brennan said something like, I don't particularly know the timing of when to do these Roth conversions, but I know the tax brackets, and I want to make sure we're filling up the proper tax brackets when we do Roth conversions. And Claire came in and mentioned some of these past Roth conversions that went really well the last couple of years. And really the last couple of years have been an ideal time because the markets have been appreciating to do these conversions. That's exactly what we saw. So maybe talk just a little bit to get our listeners kind of just the background. Sometimes CPAs, CFPs, people that have letters behind their name talk really fast, right? And we just assume people understand things. But let's go back and just talk about how do taxes shape investment decisions, right? Just in big picture. So maybe just start off with an easy one. Roth versus traditional IRA. Talk about the contributions and kind of what makes those two different. Claire, take that one.
Oh, perfect. So most clients are utilizing Roth IRA or traditional IRA, but the big question is what should I contribute to and why? And I think it's important to know what the distinct difference between the two is. It's the taxability of when you take that money out, right? So Roth IRA, that's going to come in after tax money, and then it's going to grow tax-free until you take it out in retirement. Traditional IRA, flip that around. It's tax-deferred money that's going in, and then you're taxed on that money coming back out. As clients get closer to retirement, that becomes a bigger part of their decision. Do I take money out of my Roth versus my traditional IRA? And that's why it's important that we are in contact with their CPA because they're going to have a better handle on their tax situation.
So that's where Brennan comes in and can work with our clients to say, let's fill up this tax bracket or that tax bracket. Brennan, I'm going to put you on the spot, and I think I know the answer, but it's kind of like kids. We kind of have I've got two daughters. It'd be hard for me to choose a favorite at any given time. But if you had to choose a favorite, not child, but a favorite strategy with Roth or traditional, what would you say?
Well, I think the Roth works for some people and the traditional work for some people. I think every situation is different. The big thing, though, right now is the tax brackets or tax rates being so low, the Roths generally make the most sense today. Will they make the most sense in 5 years from now? I don't know. But right now, I think that the Roths are a little better deal for most people. But again, certain cases, the traditional makes more sense too. So it just depends on their situation, case-by-case basis.
So case by case. And I also heard there depends on what tax rates do.
Absolutely.
Right. So if somebody out there listening to this and they're thinking, man, tax rates can only go up, right? I mean, we're spending a lot in our country. We've got this massive debt. They got to pay for that somehow. I'm of that belief. I think tax rates, because they're historically low and we've got this debt, they probably will go up. So I'm a fan of the Roth IRA as well. But like you said, it's so case by case. And it's hard for us as advisors, financial advisors, to understand the tax situation without reaching out and visiting with their tax person. And that's exactly where you come in. Another thing that we end up talking a lot about with clients is tax loss harvesting. And we'll talk about that with clients, and we're like, well, we really need to understand more about your tax situation. Brenin, explain to our listeners what is tax loss harvesting and kind of how it gets used and what you see on the tax return.
So the tax law harvesting rules work if we have a capital gain on that tax return for whatever reason. We could have a business sale, a farmland sale, or anything like that, and we have an account with some stocks or investments that have some losses in. Maybe it makes sense to trip those losses in that same year that we have those capital gains, just to offset some of those capital gains if possible.
Perfect. One of the things that we see a lot in our firm, of course, because we love retirees and that's the focus of our business, is visiting with retirees about building an income plan that is tax efficient, building a plan for them to get income in the most tax efficient way. We always say it's not necessarily what you're making, it's what you're keeping. Maybe talk a little about that, Claire, and how you've worked with Brenin on income planning with some of our clients.
Yeah, absolutely. I know when I sit down with people that are approaching retirement or they're in retirement, pulling funds from their former 401k or other sources of income that we plan for, one thing that really sticks out is, wow, I pay a lot in taxes. I really wasn't expecting this. Is that something that you see on your end too with retirees?
Yeah, I think that once retirees get to that finish line of retirement, they think that the taxes are going to go away or their health insurance is also going to go away, but there's still Medicare, Part B, Part D. There's still income taxes to pay. There's still income taxes to pay potentially even on their Social Security. And so I 100% agree. I think that they're surprised by how much income tax they still have to pay depending on their tax situation. And
that's why it's so important. We go back to, is it better Roth versus traditional IRA? Well, when you get to that point in life, gosh, it would be really nice to have some tax-free income. And that's where we can pull from that Roth and kind of offset some of that tax expense for them.
Yeah, that's great. I think, again, we're highlighting on these last several shows just how important it is to have an investment person or a financial advisor talking with your tax advisor. And so many meetings I'm with clients, I'm like, I can't give you tax advice because that's not something that, I used to do tax returns, but I just can't. So I want to be in contact with my CPA that I'm working with, the client's working with, to make sure we're making a tax efficient income plan for our clients. We're going to talk a little bit more about that next week. But for today, this was fun.
Thanks, Ben.
Do you need ways to help steward your time, your talent, and your treasure? If so, Taatjes Financial Group can help. Now is the time to set up a no-cost, no-obligation meeting. You can do this one of three ways. Number one, give them a call right now at 222-4236. You can request a meeting online at taatjesfinancial.com, or you can just stop by their office located on 19th Avenue Southwest in Wilmer. I'm Jared Sebesta. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Time, Talent, Treasure Radio. We'll see you next time.
Securities offered through Avantax Investment Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Avantax Advisory Services. Insurance services offered through an Avantax affiliated insurance agency.